Okay, while John is coming up here, I'll just say this again for those of you that are not here at the meeting and are seeing this on tape. John and I attended the AMSOIL University, and we are just going to give a presentation here on what took place at the university. And we're going to start out with John because he has never been up to Minnesota before to see the AMSOIL organization, and he's going to give a few first impressions of what he thought of the place.
Thanks, Dan. Is this where I'm supposed to stand?
Stand there, don't move.
All right.
Plant your feet.
All right.
You're good.
Just the main impression that I came with from the university, like I said, I've been a dealer for 3 to 4 months, really just getting my feet wet, trying to understand what AMSOIL is and learning everything I can from Dan. Signed up a couple of PCs, a business account, but really still very much learning the ropes. And so going to the AMSOIL University just helped me fill me up a little bit with additional confidence about what AMSOIL is as a company and the products that they have to offer. It was by the end of the 4 days, I was certainly ready to go home. My brain was full, and somebody tried to put some more information in my brain, and I said, no, that's enough. So it's a lot of information, but there's a lot of technical information, fundamentals of lubrication, and then there's a lot of how to build your group, how to build your personal group. So just from all sides, there was a lot of good information. And I was looking today at, what would I say tonight? Because when we were at the university, one of the things that they talked about was in working with a personal group, which I don't really have a personal group yet, but in working with one, you want to give people in your personal group the opportunity to speak and to maybe lead a meeting, which is what Dan is. So we talked about that, and I said, hey, Dan, I'd like to do that at the next meeting. So that's what's happening right now. And so there's opportunity for people in your personal group to come up and learn leadership skills by talking about their experiences, by giving a perspective. My perspective might be a little different than Dan's, and so I would share my perspective, and that might ring true for somebody. Uh-oh. Move over? This way. All right. I'm the cameraman also, so if I'm off the camera, that explains why. One of the things as I was looking this afternoon, see if I can... It talked about goal setting, and that, to me, if I have an Achilles heel, it's in goal setting. I like to just kind of take things as they come. And so as I sat down and I looked at that in the notes today, as I thought about what do I want to talk about, I thought, coming back from the university, I said, gosh, I need to set goals, but I hadn't, it's been a couple of weeks and I hadn't done that. And so I came in and he asked me how I was doing, and I wasn't doing that well because I realized that I hadn't come back, and really it talks about having a written plan, and I hadn't started a written plan, and I hadn't started enacting a goal. So hey, I want to be a direct jobber in 6 months or a year, whatever. What is it that I actually need to do to become, how many PCs do I need to sign up? How many business accounts? So I have goals that I can say, and so I can break those down into, well, this week I need to do this because in 6 months I want to be here. So that's certainly an Achilles heel for me. So I need to, Monday morning or over the weekend, I'm going to start establishing those goals, and I'll work with my upline to say, hey, what's realistic and what can I do? So that, to me, that was probably the most critical thing that I came out with from the university.
Okay. What did you think of the presentations, John, from the people that gave them?
The presentations were just almost everyone. There was one guy who was a little difficult to understand, but besides that, everyone but he knew what he was talking about, and everybody else knew what they were talking about. And so almost across the board, it was just, like I said, just so much information that I was taking in, and it's like, take notes, but just from the very first fundamentals of lubrication, just a lot of good information, which fortunately I had some background in from editing articles for you. I've had some background in that, so it wasn't all totally new. I think it could be a little bit overwhelming if you're just coming in and they're introducing the fundamentals of lubrication, because it was challenging just even with a little bit of background. But like I said, from the very first night, Sunday evening through Thursday, just everything that kept hitting me over and over again was the quality of the organization. We had that, what was the diesel thing they had the Tuesday morning?
Fuel contamination.
The fuel contaminations. Well, no, okay. Well, they had all.
Oh, no,
but remember
the diesel extravaganza they had down in the arena.
Right, and so they had I don't know, half a dozen, 10 diesel vehicles from different, anywhere from a garbage truck to they had Duramax and a Ford and all different kinds of diesel vehicles that were there, and they were fielding questions from all the almost 400 people who were there. They were fielding questions and answering those questions. They were showing, hey, here's an AMSOIL product and here's how it can be applied. And so it was just a wonderful presentation and so everyone was really like that.